is
Zaza. Oh, yeah.
Fitzy and
Sweet as.
Whipper.
Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome to the podcast. It's Fitzy and Whipper here. This is a bit of a dodgy one because I don't understand why people would even
Sorry,
think
mate, I'm
about
busy. What are you talking about?
watching. What?
I'm just
Let
on
me
here now.
Give me your phone. I want to go through your history. Sicko, military men.
What?
Why would you be watching that at work?
Oh, that's not a real weapon. That won't arm you in a war.
Wow, I'm not going into the trenches with that guy.
Meninsuits.com.
There's a lot of people that seem to do this at work. Why would you want to watch explicit material at work? I couldn't think of anything worse.
Tom, when you do, is it during your lunch break or are you kind of...
I do not.
Is that
look
why
at
you
that
sit in the
filth.
car, in the car park?
Absolute filth.
Or you don't want to go home? I don't know what your issue is.
I'm not. And if you make me look up Captain Stabbin one more time, I'm out of here.
He was a
He was a pirate.
he was captain of the bombers for about 10 years there.
Stabbin?
Yeah, Captain
I don't remember him.
Peter Stabbin. Yeah, he was a great. His drop punts were just
Right through the centre.
unbelievable.
Pinpoint accuracy. Move the target. Tommy,
Courageous Captain Stabbin.
that's not true. We lie about
He would
Tom.
put his head into anything.
Wouldn't he? Okay. He'd put his head down and run straight at the ball. Tom, that's not fair because you're more of a subcategories guy.
All right, mate.
Okay, but this is a real. It's a hot topic at the moment. Oh, talking of hot. Have a look at this.
No, we wouldn't put our credit card details in. For that, there's enough free stuff. But
It's a real issue that we need to address. Podcast time.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
interesting, guys, a stat I've got here, and I had no idea this was going on, and it makes you question, look around the room here at your team members, and if you're on a building site, even have a look at the fellas. Have a look around and go, whew, who's doing it? Apparently up to 60% of your workplace is watching adult material at work.
What a place to do it. Oh, no. I mean, look, I know that there's addictions out there, and I've heard about this before. Does anyone know who's had an addiction to this area?
Where are you looking? At Tom?
No. It doesn't have to be yourselves, but does anyone know anyone that's had an addiction to
I've
Do you remember there
I've
was
got
the
a mate
news
a bit like that.
Okay, there was that news story about the UK parliamentarian who got axed because he was sitting in Parliament. Thought he was looking up tractors, and on a couple of occasions was looking up.
What did he Google?
No, it was
Big wheels.
It was a couple getting intimate on a tractor.
Was it?
Yes.
Right.
And the first time he found that accidentally, and then the second time he just wanted to make sure that he got the link right.
Yeah, he was. He wanted to send it to a mate. His issue was that he admitted it. Remember, he said the first time I stumbled across it, I thought, "Oh, this is an accident." So I got out of that, and then went back and had another look.
he's had another
Don't
look.
admit to it, mate. 60%. They say that you might be misunderstanding why they're using it.
Yeah.
It's a stress relief mechanism.
Oh,
Yeah, of
please.
course it's a relief.
Is it without being gross?
Go ahead, Sarah.
Isn't it a bit silly for a bloke? Because it's quite obvious, whereas a female, at least, we can hide if we're turned on. You
don't
guys
get it.
can't.
See,
Yes,
can
you
I ask you a question?
Oh, no.
I've never
Oh,
asked
no.
a female this.
Oh, but here we
You
go.
know, when we were younger...
Do it
'cause
on air then.
Yeah,
With the
please.
internet, we never really had... You could never access it when we were younger, so you
Yeah.
would get... for us, it was Dad's naughty magazine.
Yeah.
As a girl, did you girls... Was there guys...
Is there an equivalent?
No, yeah, was there an equivalent? Was there a guys magazine that you would get?
No, there was the sealed section in Cosmo and Cleo. But I don't know, I can't speak for other women, but I think you guys are more fascinated with looking at your junk
Yes.
than we are. It's not a turn on.
But
No.
are young girls fascinated at looking at magazines of nude men?
I think it was a novelty. It was like, oh my God,
There was
there is...
Playgirl, wasn't there?
Was there?
Yeah, there was Playgirl, and there was another one which was men for men.
I
Very familiar.
I have a huge collection that I bought from a German guy on
I do remember
Gumtree.
People magazine and Tom being home bloke of the week.
He got $50 that day, Tommy.
That was when. I'm not joking. That was when, because we had a bloke that we grew up in our area.
Nice
That's
cowboy
when you
hat.
would send a nude photo of yourself in, either sprawled out on I don't know, on your car's bonnet, and you would say I love Jim Beam, I love Ford Falcons,
Yep.
and I love the Adelaide Crows.
And I must love the bonnet of my car, or I wouldn't be doing this to it.
Did you ever find growing up, though, after 8:30 on SBS, things got saucy?
They did, Says.
Yeah.
And do you know what? And then there was a show called Sex that came out that Sophie Lee hosted. And I remember Cops was on at the same time. And I used to say to Mum and Dad, I'm just going to watch Cops in the other room. And they go, oh my God, that's a set of boobs.
and that wasn't the only thing that was copping it in that room.
That was under arrest. I arrested myself a couple of times while that show was
You
on.
actually used to talk to your little mate saying, bad boy, what you got to do?
And to think I'm still doing that these days, 40 years later. At work, mind you. If you ever hear me singing the Cops theme song at my desk, you know what's going on.
Oh, Whipper's singing Bad Boys again. Let's get out of here. Daryl's given us a call from Cronulla. What,
Morning, guys.
Is this you or a fellow employee, Daryl?
Well, not at work, but growing up, as Sarah was saying before about SBS, my dad used to tape SBS.
Oh, yeah.
He'd say to me, right, here's the video. When your mum's out, watch it. And, yeah.
Dad!
So Daddy give you the tip off.
Always,
Is that for
yeah.
educational purposes, Daryl?
Of course.
Any particular show, or were they just world movies, Daryl?
They were all the blue movies that were on SBS.
Yeah.
Like, they were on late at night, and he'd stay up and tape them for me back in the old VHS days. So
Right, and he'd say, son, I've had a look at this one. It's worth a run.
It's funny.
yeah, or he'd leave it at the spot that it needed to be at.
It's
Is that a bit weird, Daryl?
It's funny because I want to have a conversation with. Actually, we were talking at the dinner table last night, and there was a conversation going on with one of the boys saying at school, another boy rocked up to school, and as they were doing the conversation, Sarah, he said. He rocked up and he came out in front of all the boys and he had a BONER.
Right, okay.
And I'm going, I want you guys to talk about this.
Yeah,
and
the
they
body
both
reacts.
just went into their shells and went, no, Dad, I don't want to talk about it. Because we were the same with our
Yeah,
parents,
of
I
course.
suppose.
You don't know what's going on with your body, but you do, and you don't want to talk
You know,
about it.
Jack asked a question the other day, and I can't even say it on air. But it... How would I
Where
say
did
this?
that lady come from?
No, when babies are being made, what's the number one? I mean, babies are made in the stomach,
Yeah.
right? You know, from an outsider, from a young point of view. How do most things get into your stomach? You eat them.
Yeah.
So Jack asked, how often does Mum eat it?
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I said,
right.
no.
But babies, talking babies. So Jack thinks that Lisa's
Yes.
eating babies.
Well, yes, if you want to use that term. So, and then he said, all right, well, how does it get from the doodle to the giny? Does it come out and just go across the floor and then somehow get in?
It's like
All
alien.
right, let's go back to the basics.
Gosh.
Oh, my God, how
You
do
don't
you
even
answer
know
that?
the answer to that.
No, I
which is
don't.
weird. Nick in Greystanes. What adult content did you accidentally stumble across, Nick?
Morning, gents. How are we?
Strong, buddy.
Mate, it was a long time ago when I was probably the age of 7. My father took me to a video store to watch a video, you know. And I was a big fan of superheroes, as every little kid is.
Yeah.
I was a fan of Flash Gordon.
Yes. Remember that movie, the original Flash? I love that
Yeah.
movie.
Lo and behold, my old man gets me Flash Gordon.
There it is.
Is there such thing, Nick, or are you joking?
No, this is serious, but it was an honest mistake. Like, we get home, put it on, and yeah, like coming from an Italian background, my dad wasn't too impressed with the guy at the video store. It was his fault, not my dad's.
Oh,
Do you know what? Travel stress can take a hike.
with lots of fully refundable hotels, whatif.com has got you covered.
Just remember, booking cancellation windows apply.
So go and relax and book your next trip with confidence at whatif.com.
What if it's Aussie for travel? This is one of our favourite segments, and we haven't done it for such a long time. Am I the only one?
Great.
Fitzy and Whippers.
Everything can be known, past, present, future.
Am I the only one?
Jeez, this is where Tommy wanders into the studio. He's got his big red box there.
Yes, I do.
And Tommy, there is an envelope inside the box. news. It will have a
Yes.
question in it.
That's right, yes. And this one's backed by popular demand. We haven't done it for a while, but it's nice to have it back. It's where someone has got in touch with us on Instagram, sent us a DM saying, am I the only one who's got this amazing story?
Yeah, right.
So I've opened up the box. You heard that.
Yeah, I heard it, mate.
Close the box. You heard that.
It's a great box.
Whoa. Oh, Macca with the heavy.
No, this is good.
I feel like I'm in The Hunted.
Am I the only one making more money in my side hustle than in my 9-to-5 job?
Oh, the hustle.
I like this.
Lots of people have a hustle on the go these days.
Yeah, well, it is a big question to ask. And 13 24 10, if you are in this situation, to kick us off, Jake is here to share his story. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good, Jake. We love the topic of the side hustle on the show, and we didn't realise how many people do it, but you're obviously very successful. What is your side hustle?
So my side hustle is I live stream every night. I stream my sleep to people on TikTok, and they pay me to wake and disturb me sleeping.
Oh, my. Okay,
Hang on.
so how many followers have you got on TikTok, Jake?
In the last 3 months, we're just about to hit 700,000.
Oh,
And then
wow.
hang on, how much do they pay to watch you?
So it can vary between a small gift will be $1 and a large gift that goes all the way up to like $600. And obviously, the more they pay, the more crazy stuff happens that wakes me up.
Right, so do they take... We're just watching now on the screen. So are they able to put things onto a screen behind your head? Is that right?
Yeah, so they can turn on things like loud sounds, videos, bubble machines, inflatables. There's just a whole lot of different things that they can pay for in the
Awesome.
room.
So there's a TV behind your head as you lie in bed, right?
Oh, my God.
And they pay to get something onto that screen which wakes you up.
Yeah, correct.
What are you averaging in your sleep every night, big fella?
So at the start, it was just me every maybe 20 minutes someone would come in and do it. But now, it's pretty much every 10 seconds someone's coming in and dropping something now.
Oh, my God.
Are you feeling how are you feeling right now? Exhausted?
Yeah, I've been very exhausted the last couple of months, but the money's been so good that I ended up quitting my main job. And
Stop
I've been,
it.
This is hilarious.
now.
I'm just watching the bubble machine go off in your bedrooms because so someone's obviously spent $600 to let bubbles go off in your bedroom. Jake, let's talk figures if you can. How much money have you made from people waking you up?
My biggest month was in May, and that was $50,000 for the 1 month.
Dude,
Wow.
would you sacrifice your sleep for something like this? What are some?
Oh, my
What are
God.
some of the ridiculous suggestions to wake you up with that you just can't do, Jake?
Well, it's they're all pre-programmed, so when people pay, there's like a menu sort of on my back wall, so when they send a specific amount, then a song will play or this will happen, so it's like all set. But the big one, when it goes off, it's just 5 minutes of chaos. There's bubble machines, lights, and it's just super, super loud. Within the space of 3 months, we've had nearly 50 million views and
Wow.
nearly 700,000 followers, and it's just... it's just changed my life. It's been absolutely crazy.
So, and Jake, is it all run through TikTok, or like where do I go to pay the money to make it happen?
Yeah, so it all goes through TikTok. If you wanted to have a look, you would just search Jakey Interactive like Sleep, and you'd be able to find me. And then you would buy the gifts through TikTok, and then TikTok takes the percentage, and then I get my percentage as well.
I mean, you're kind of just living the life of a parent with toddlers,
Yeah, you
to
are.
be fair. But
You're not paid for that, though, Sis.
No, we don't get paid. How long do you reckon you can do this for?
Look, at the moment, I'm sort of just treating it as a night shift at the moment, just because it's so intense. I'm literally just sleeping during the day and then doing this at night time now. But yeah, I think while the trend is going, I'm just going to sort of milk it for what it is, and hopefully last a couple more months.
Man, this is hilarious.
Oh, Jake. Is your side hustle better than your actual job?
Haley from Richmond, what's your side hustle, Hales?
Hi guys, I actually sell feet pics.
Oh, we were talking about this earlier. So you sell pics of your feet on what, OnlyFans or one of these feet finder sites?
I have Feet Finder.
So how much money are you making on the side, Haley?
Last month I only sold like a handful of photos and I actually made $5,000.
Oh, it's decent. What?
But when you say selling the photos, are they subscription order or are they being sold to be used for another purpose?
It depends on what platform you use it on, but most of the time it's subscription, and they just ask me what they want my feet to be doing, what colour toenails they want me to have, what they want me to wear. Sometimes I have to wear stockings, sometimes I don't.
What's the weirdest request you've had, Hayley?
I can't say it on air.
Oh, is it okay? So they want you to show your foot along with something else,
or put
in PG at 13. I've had a request of weeing myself, and it's trickling down to my feet.
Sorry about that. I wasn't sure I was on the right side, but thanks for calling through.
Do you know what the other one? And I don't know if you've been asked to do this, and Hayley, and never do it. But if you are asked to put your feet in a pair of Crocs, just do not. Whatever you do, don't take a photo of it, Hayley, please.
Okay.
Hayley, that is extraordinary. 5,000. That's a quiet month for you, is it, Hayley?
Oh, that was a pretty good month, to be honest.
So
But I didn't know so many people were into feet.
Can you just wee on your feet for me? Who wants to watch that?
Surprised.
I mean,
You would be surprised.
I mean, Tommy, do we go down the path of also 13, 24, 10? Are you one of these foot fetish people? Let's flip the other side of the coin. Who's actually paying for this? Do you subscribe? And what do you do with the photos?
Yeah, give us a call, you sickos. Mel in Cronulla, what's your side hustle, Mel?
It's only been going for a week, but my husband has created there's a traditional wax comb to get wax off surfboards.
Yeah.
So he's changed it, and it's it's sort of shaped like a round doorknob. It's a little one. It fits in your hand, but it's got patents and everything. We called it Wax Fresh.
Yeah.
And it just removes the wax really easily from your surfboard. We've had it on the market for 1 week, 2 Instagram posts, and we've already made more than my weekly income.
Oh, Mel, this is
my
great.
God, that's
I love
great.
it. So you've patented it, you've got the trademark, Mel. No one else can take it?
Yep, that's right.
Oh,
so
Mel,
I'm pretty excited about it.
Give it another plug, Mel. When can we find it?
Waxfresh.com.au.
Okay, Wax Fresh. So, Mel...
on Instagram, Wax Fresh Official.
I mean, you don't Google Wax Fresh.
No.
Oh, you might still land safely.
Don't hit images on that.
I have.
You might get...
It's already been in my... It's already been in my history for the last 2 weeks anyway.
Don't look at that at work.
Hey, Mel, have you been approached by any surf brands yet? That could be the next step.
Well, that's what we want to get into surf shops eventually, but we just haven't. It's just, the first week was just trying to get it out there, and it's just taken off already.
I love that, Mel. Good on you.
You could use it to get the wax.
Thank you.
Tommy, you could use it to get the wax out of your hair.
No, that's Frizz to Smith.
I'm going to say out of my ears.
Yeah, so you can finally hear how good the show is.
Say that
Tom.
into my good ear.
Stop whinging about your job.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Daniel Dragozovic is his name. He is a high-flying hotel group director involved with pubs. So the thing is, this was on a Saturday morning, and unfortunately Daniel crashed his Mercedes-Benz into a property while severely drunk. He got busted. He got done.
Idiot.
You can't do that. The thing is, though, he was driving because he was due to be the best man at his mate's wedding.
Okay.
He never got there.
Panicking, trying to get all suited up.
There's never a reason to
Got a race, I've got a
drive.
speech to make. Have I got my notes?
This is a real sore point, to the point where the bride and groom have not spoken to him since.
Why was he drunk?
Well, I don't know if he's
Nervous
just a bit-
about his speech?
Could have been nervous about his speech.
If he'd crashed the car and he wasn't drunk, you'd probably forgive him, wouldn't you? Because you go, oh my God, he's had an accident. First things first, is he okay? Best man down, best man down. Can someone else jump up and say a couple of words? We'll get through this. Let's hope he's all right.
I'd love to hear
If you're
from...
drunk,
Yeah.
you go into idiot town.
Yeah, totally.
Who was the crucial person at the wedding who just did not rock up?
Didn't make it. Probably the what do you call it? The person.
The celebrant?
Celebrant.
That
Yeah.
would be a big one. 13, 24, 10,
Or
get
the
involved.
bride could be crucial.
Yep.
Because the other thing as well, the effort that you go to and the amount of money that you pay for each individual person at that wedding, for food, drink, you're looking at about $150, $200 per person.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. I think the average cost of a wedding I read not long ago was about $48,000.
Far out.
That's a lot of coin.
The other thing as well, is I can be a little bit lazy sometimes with RSVPs, and you forget about. I mean, weddings, you get an invite a very long way out, don't you? And you forget about an RSVP, and then last minute you realise, they think that I'm coming to the wedding, but I've got something else on this weekend. And that, I reckon, it's the ultimate kick in the face.
How second tier is a friend that you forget about their wedding?
Depends on how you define friendship, Sarah.
You didn't.
Doesn't it?
You didn't take too much notice of the dress code for Sarah's wedding.
You didn't read the invite. Those invites were expensive. They're like $12 each.
Well, Sarah's, at least he was present for yours. I mean, at least
You
at mine,
didn't
he
work
showed up.
here.
He showed up. No. That was your second one. For my one, he showed up but spent the entire reception on his phone watching the footy.
Yeah, that was a good win
out
by
on the
Crows.
lawn.
That was a good win.
He missed all the speeches, but the Crows got up.
No idea why you bother RSVPing. Yes, you just going to watch the footy anyway.
I had to look after Mikey Pembroke, who hadn't slept from the night before as well. He was lucky to make it to your wedding, and he was part of the wedding, wasn't he? He was one of the grooms.
I mean,
he was mercifully not. No, that was Dean.
Dean Lewis, who had said he would write a song for you to celebrate you and Bronte, and he didn't do that, and then he didn't attend the wedding either.
Three of my best mates. Fitz spent it on the grass watching the footy. One was so sideways they needed to go to bed at 7:30, and the other just couldn't be bothered coming from America.
He was playing.
What a ringing endorsement.
Playing on Ellen.
It's a good day. Sammy's given us a call from 5 Dock. Who didn't show up to the wedding, Sam?
It was my sister.
Oh,
what happened?
She was supposed to be the maid of honour.
Yeah.
And she didn't like that the spotlight was on me and not her, so she just didn't bother.
You're fading there. I think you said, Sam, she didn't like the spotlight being on you and not her.
So she gave you no heads up just before the wedding that she wasn't even coming?
No, actually, the day before, I sent her a message saying, "You still haven't tried on your dress. What's going on?" And she sent a text going, "F you, F your wedding."
Oh my gosh! What is her problem, Sam? Has she always been like that?
Yeah, she has.
I'm sorry about that.
Did you get over it, Sam?
Oh yeah. I just got my foster sister to jump in, and she was thrilled.
Oh, great,
Sam. Have you rekindled the relationship? Have you?
Well, whenever she's needed help or support, she's always called out.
Yep.
But, yeah, the second that she's done, she cuts me off.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Man,
I know a few people like that.
Yeah, that's her problem, Sam. Don't you worry about that.
There's going to be a day, Sam, where you screen that call. You don't pick up that call anymore. It might be an emergency and she needs your help really big time, but you know what? You don't pick up that call anymore.
No, absolutely not. I have done my days with that one.
Yeah, I hope that was therapeutic for you, Sam.
Hey,
Thanks
the
for
other
calling.
big question as well, Sam, are you still married? Are you still with the guy? Or?
No, actually, that was, 25 years ago, but I'm with the man of my dreams now.
I knew you'd get there. I never liked the first one.
Hey, just quickly, Sam, did she come to the second wedding?
We haven't got married yet. We're planning on it next year. I turn 50 next week, and my partner and I are hoping to go back to his country in the Caribbean next year, and yeah.
Living in sin. Okay. Thanks, Sam. See you, Sam.
Well done, Sam. Let's go to Barry in Caringbah now. Who went missing before the wedding, Barry?
Hey, guys, it was my best man. So I told him for about 2 years before the wedding that you're going to be my best man. So we got married in the Philippines. Obviously, I'm from Ireland, so he flew over from Ireland. He knew for 3 years. Decided on the day of the wedding, half an hour before it started, that would be the best time to go and write a speech.
Yep.
Went and locked himself in a room with headphones on. We had to delay my bride coming down by about 30 minutes. There was a search out looking for him. We had the megaphone people in the hotel looking for him. And eventually he appeared. I met him halfway coming down the stairs, took a swing at him, missed. And then we ended up making up, and we had a good day. And we got
How emotional.
What? So you had a swing at him? You wanted to knock him out? Miss?
Yeah, I was just, because I was like, I told this guy 3 years ago, why he decides to write his bloody speech on the day of the wedding. And then he put his headphones in, went into one of these three rooms.
So after you'd had a swing at him, though, Barry, what got you back on track?
My cousin was just, calm down, and then we just all had a laugh about it, and then obviously when I seen my missus, everything was all right.
Well done. That's a good effort. You know what? He's made the right decision. Take a deep breath. Have a go at him tomorrow.
Knock
but let's
him
get
out.
through the wedding today.
Yeah.
I went to Punters' wedding. His best man wrote the speech at the pub, the Port Noarlunga Hotel, while we're having a counter meal the day before the wedding. And I'm thinking, how could you leave it to the last minute?
I've seen it on the day before. I've seen it on the day.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's so easy to speak about. Like, it's not a subject matter you don't know.
No.
It's made.
It's a big role. And you've got to make sure that you get it correct. You've got to be able to read the crowd, know what's in the room, and deliver something that doesn't sound like a 21st.
Yeah,
you don't want to hear stories about what he did growing up. You want to include the bride in the speech. You mention the family, and you do it respectfully.
Yeah, and you know what? You got to throw it off a few family members and see if you get a bit of a laugh here and there. You got to see if it's
test your water.
You do. Because we were sitting around having a counter meal, and he's going, "Hey, any other stories you got on him?" I'm thinking, mate, you know what? This is your speech. I'm not giving you material.
I don't think I
charged him.
I don't think I've thanked you enough for emceeing my wedding. And before you'd even introduced the new bride and groom, you dropped an F-bomb in front of my nan.
Yeah, that was a ploy
good
of mine, because I knew that you'd come from a pretty nice family, and I thought, let's shake this up.
Let's rough it up a bit.
Let's really
Ladies and gentlemen, put down your bourbons.
No, there was a moment, because you're Red Hill, we're at the winery there, and the joke was, it was just, how beautiful this setting is. It's magnificent. There was a moment where I looked into my wife's eyes and I grabbed her by the hand and I said, "Honey, how many sets of cutlery can you fit into your handbag?"
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Lights, camera, clarity.
Ooh, Sarah.
The top trending stories in entertainment this morning. Kim Kardashian, everyone is talking about this $576 bill at a Queensland Italian restaurant.
What did she eat?
Well, this is the thing. According to the bloke who put it up, who works there, the waiter who then put up on Instagram her receipt, she had some salads, arancinis, some calamari, margarita pizzas, carbonara, a Nutella pizza.
That's
What's
carb
the bill?
load.
Oh, Nutella pizza. She's finished off. She's had a good feed.
$576. The story he put up on Instagram was that she left a hefty tip. Now, the team here have done some research.
So what is
Called
it?
the restaurant, and it is total BS.
What do you mean? She didn't leave a tip?
She didn't eat there. The guy has made it up. The
You're
waiter's
kidding
having
me.
a cracking time getting headlines around the world, saying this was the Kimmy K diet starter pack and uploading the bill that was apparently from her and her entourage.
Says, I did question it from the fact that I thought, if you are the owner of a restaurant, who in their right mind is going to publicly display somebody's bill? No matter who it is,
Well, the waiter.
it doesn't paint a great picture
Can
for the
we
restaurant.
ring the establishment before the end of the show, Tommy? Let's find this
So I
out.
just said that. We did just call them. The producers have called. Yep, stay with us, Fitz. We'll get there. But I do know the length that they went to, because Kim's now back in LA. She was only here for, say, 4 days. They went to great lengths to keep her visit undercover. She stayed not at the hotel we thought she was at. She changed that at the last minute. She was at the Sheraton Grand Mirage in Port Douglas. All employees had to sign NDAs. They were instructed not to ask her for selfies. She barely left the hotel, and when she did, she went in and out of the loading dock, so no other resort guests could see her or go near her. And that was just because she wanted it to be private. No selfies, nothing on her Instagram. All that sort of stuff.
That's the old 80s. That's the real 80s.
Big rooms.
That's the huge pool that goes all the way around. That's the one where we stayed at, and John Farnham was next to us, remember?
That's
and we
right.
just played You're the Voice all night now in our room.
She would have loved staying near you.
Says, I love your gossip segment. I'm a huge fan of what you do,
But-
on air and off air. But I was reading that article, making sure I was across it. If you are a celebrity of that caliber, right? If you are a top-notch celebrity in terms of profile, your life is lived like you're on the run. You're on the run. You're trying to hide, and you're on the run like a criminal. I'm not interested, mate.
And the level of
I'm not
paranoia
interested.
that a lot of them would have. So think about your people like, was it Sienna Miller who got done with the phone tapping,
Yep.
News of the World stuff? Think about those people, and you stay at a hotel, your life is in hotels. Who's to say there aren't cameras?
Yep.
Just because it
I
doesn't
know,
go
in the
public
air
doesn't
vent.
mean people aren't filming it. Like, you would just go into this cycle of...
Not to mention, was it Ariana Grande the other day? Someone else broke into her house again.
Totally.
So you've got some weird fan, and you get home, and all of a sudden there's a noise in the cupboard. Some freak's broken in.
But a lot of them have second houses. So what you see, like the Kardashians in the early seasons, you never saw their real house. The front was a different house,
And then
so that you couldn't identify it from the street if you were trying to get in.
when Paris Hilton started to become big, remember back then, and social media was just starting to take off, she had the other issue of going on holiday, posting, hey, how good are the Bahamas?
Yeah, so people go raid your house.
Everyone broke into her house. Everyone knew she wasn't home.
Well, one of the Real Housewives had that only 12 months ago, lost every piece of heirloom jewellery she had in every single handbag. And
Oh, my
the
God.
Paris Hilton's aunt, and she had a ton of stuff.
Well, that's why I don't tell anyone when I'm going to the Bahamas.
Really?
But that's why a lot of the time they post not in real time for that very reason.
Too true. After the trip.
Kardashians always do it after, so you actually never know where they are.
So you go to rob them and they are home.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you go, hang on a minute.
They've left Kanye in the front yard.
But you're skiing in Fiji,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly.
Sorry,
right.
I just checked you. So I thought you weren't home. I'm out of here. See you guys.
My mistake. Guys, the internet's blowing up about this interview Louis Tomlinson of One Direction fame. He's here, sold out concert series. He was on the project last night. I am calling this one of the biggest beat-ups, but it is the main news story of the morning at this question and answer exchange between him and Pete Hellier. They're saying that Louis Tomlinson loses it at the project. Have a listen. I think it's BS.
Your experience with the band, how do you feel about those days?
Oh, so the fishing's begun already. Yeah, I see what you're doing. No, listen, I'm immensely proud, as I know Liam is. I'm immensely proud of those days. Obviously, I mean, you know, it was an incredible thing to do, and especially at such a young age. Amazing memories, man. Amazing memories.
How is that a blow up?
Mate, do you know what?
Yeah, they were asking him, how do you feel about Liam having
really like
these
Louis.
podcasts and conversations?
Can I say as well, the amount of articles that are written about the declining ratings of the project, it's the stable at Channel 10. It makes them the most money. And it's actually cheap to make now. Like they've been
extraordinary,
doing
isn't
it for so long.
Yeah.
And it makes them so much money.
Well, we know
so
I'm a
they're
fan
never
of
going
it.
to get rid of the project. So you can write as many articles as you want that there's only a few 100,000 watching, but they still sell lots of advertising.
Problem is, says we clicked on it.
I did because I like 1D and I love the project, so it was an easy one for me. They did also ask him, though, what one of the weirdest thing that had been thrown at him on stage.
Someone threw a burger up the other day. It's just kind of random. I threw it back, to be fair.
Was it still in the wrapper?
It was still in the wrapper, to be fair. Yeah,
Right.
untouched. Yeah, but I didn't eat it.
I mean, would you eat the burger?
I
That's
probably
the thing.
would. Says, once again, congratulations on all your work here, on air and off air. You're just a fantastic person. You do a great job every morning.
Why are you doing that?
No, I'm just saying I love this segment so much.
Are you trying to wrap me up? I had one more.
Oh, no, go ahead.
If you've had enough, we
No,
can
I want
save it for
more.
tomorrow.
I just said I love it. Give me more.
Well, my last one was Reese Witherspoon. She told a funny story about after she filmed Legally Blonde, she actually got the call up for jury duty, which just feels weird to me. But listen to what happened.
I got called for jury duty. It was a 5-day trial, and we went on the last day into deliberations to decide whether or not this woman was guilty of this crime. They said, well, we have to pick a foreman for the jury. And literally all of them turned and pointed at me. And I said, me? Why am I going to be the foreman? They said, because you're a lawyer.
No. I knew this. Al Watts is in the room.
You're kidding me.
How smart are Americans? Not to
Oh,
cast
my God.
generalisation.
The Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Well, Current Affair, you know it's one of my favourite shows.
Done it again.
Welfare Cheats, Love Rats. There's so many good ones out there. Hoarders is always a good one as well.
Dodgy.
But last night, they finally tracked down the guy that was up the top of the SCG roof watching the Wallabies on Saturday night who decided to take a bit of a whiz. It was one of their big ones.
Danny King, Steve Marshall from A Current Affair, mate. Is it Danny King or is it Piddler on the Roof?
Oh, no, Steve Marshall is the man who's in charge here from A Current Affair, and he's obviously written down a few. Piddler on the Roof is the first one. Right. So this is... Okay, so to set it up, Steve's tracked him down, getting ready to go to work, having a coffee at the food court at Bondi Junction at Westfield. So he's in there at the food court with a mate. He works at Fitness First. Danny King's the guy's name. I don't know. He's probably had a few drinks. I don't know. It looked like he popped a pinger or something on the night, but he'd gone a bit hard, this guy. He decided to take a whiz. You know what? It was disgusting. He's got a fine now.
Yeah, he's been banned. That's happened, yep.
So then he started with Piddler on the Roof, Steve Marshall. Danny King's freaked out, seen the cameras. And this is the other thing as well. They're now going with iPhones instead of the actual proper cameras.
Right.
Saving a lot of money at Channel 9.
My God.
Smart idea. So he freaks out, Sarah. He gets up and starts walking off briskly, starts basically running off. Steve Marshall has this to say.
You got the runs, Danny. I thought it was number ones.
Not bad. Not bad. Have you got the runs? I thought it was number
Mate,
one.
this guy has already been punished. He doesn't need this idiot chasing him.
Well, then they're walking through the Westfield at Bondi Junction there, and this guy's just over it. Doesn't want anything to do with it. He's a bodybuilder. And then, Steve's got to ask the obvious question.
Do you think urinating on top of people is the way to go? They're there for a good night out. I wasn't on top of anyone. Pardon me? I wasn't on top of anyone. Well, you're on top of the roof. It's got to run somewhere. It wasn't a lavatory, was it?
So he's weed into the gutter.
Lavatory's brought up. So then Steve has to explain to him what a lavatory is.
Now, they're called lavatories or loos, toilets. Are you familiar with your term toilet?
You can hear the bloke in the background going, cool, mate. Cool, mate. Okay.
Awesome,
all
buddy.
right. You've got me now.
I've apologised. I've copped the fine. I've done all of that. But go on, Steve.
So then Danny, he's over it because now they're walking through the streets of Bondi and he's going, well, this guy's not going to leave me. So Daniel King then gets on his phone and starts ringing the cops.
You're on the phone to the police. I'd love to have the police. I'd love to see the police down there. Mate, you've put yourself in the public eye. You made yourself king of the castle, Danny boy.
It's just
annoying.
calling him Danny boy. He's trying to bait him.
Oh my God! If I could choose to be one of two people right now, I'd be the guy who did the wee on the roof. You're embarrassing yourself, Steve.
Steve, what?
Imagine Steve back at the office at headquarters when they say, "Hey, go and follow the roof weir from the footy."
Well, this is the last bait. So he's basically, the guy's starting to fire up now. He's threatening he's going to punch Steve, all this kind of stuff. And Steve's just keeping his public safety, and he just wants to look after this guy, but this was the last bait.
I want to have this conversation on top of a roof, on a grandstand. Hey, easy now. Easy, no, you don't need to swear at me. Look, you can't put that on. Hey, easy, big guy, easy. Watch out for the bus.
Watch out for the bus. He nearly got cleaned up by a bus.
Steve.
Well, we find it because we tried to get Piddler on the roof, didn't we, Tom?
Yeah, but he didn't get back to us.
He didn't want to talk.
Yeah, but ACA got him.
Well,
I mean, they do it very well, He stopped him in his tracks. God, he was just there having a bit of lunch, and Steve's there with the hard-hitting questions, Steve.
It's tough when you're talking to your clients. This today, isn't it? After being on ACA.
Yeah, it is. So he's a personal trainer, is he, the other bloke?
He's a personal trainer.
Okay.
And he's a weapon. He's shredded. Like, he is. Mm-hmm. He's got lots of muscles. But it is a tough one today, just going, you may have seen me last night on Channel 9.
The concern is...
Welfare cheat? Were you a love rat or something? No, I'm Piddler on the roof.
I'm the Piddler. My mates call me the Piddler.
You're listening to the Fitzy and Whipper podcast.
Still here in the studio, standing nice and proud, is Ed Sheeran's private member, which you'll see there. Thanks for joining us again, Ed Sheeran. If you haven't heard the story so far, Ed Sheeran gave Elton John a marble one of these, and then we mentioned to Ed, look, we'd love some. 7 months later, shipped from the UK in a box to green and gold members, about a metre high. They stand proud right here, right now. We want to give them to Sydney. We need to do something. We need to tour. We're thinking, what could we possibly do with these? A couple of suggestions have come through already. Fairly random. Could you get it on Koshy's desk? Just a shout out there.
You'd have 3 of them then.
Outside the museum across the country. Someone said, is Whipper going bald? That's not on the topic. Thanks anyway. West Pennant Hills and on the Metro. Why not, guys?
Oh, yeah, public transport.
What about this? Take it to Dickie Wilkins' house, make it a water feature and sit it by one of his 5 pools. Not a bad idea.
I mean, we need to get some shots with it. Though I think when we go back to Ed next, we need to show that they've been touring.
Yeah. Need to celebrate what we've been given. Take it to a karaoke night and give it to the person that's the biggest D-head on the night.
Yep.
It's not bad.
No, not that, Mike.
No.
This one.
That's different. Take it to a gender reveal party, and if it's a boy, you can make the announcement using this.
That's good.
That's a genius idea.
A gender reveal party.
What if it's a girl? We don't have that, do we? No. Needs to be. Don't point at me.
I didn't.
Lend it out to a plumber to promote their store. Okay, not bad. We need your ideas because, Sydney, we want to hand this over to you. We can drop this around to your place. If you've got a party or something, you might need it. Also, heads up, took it out to 1-800 for promo the other day. Gave it to Ben. I said, Ben, we need a box to present this thing in. Let's get some dry ice happening. Let's make it grand. Every time we present this masterpiece hand-painted by Ed Sheeran, we need a big moment. He's all over it.
He's so good, Ben, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he's the one who basically got the Hot Wheels record, isn't it?
Well, no, he didn't get the Hot Wheels
He did all
record.
of it.
I think it was his car, wasn't it, that actually went over the line
I don't think it was,
first?
but I rang Ben and said I got an idea, and he watched me get it done. So
well done to Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
The third
Anyway,
member of the team.
I left it in his hands.
Okay, keep your suggestions. Go on to Instagram. If you've got any other suggestions, you can DM us there. Tomorrow, Colin and Manu are coming in. Faz, we haven't seen the Faz and Manu. What? This is for My Kitchen Rules?
No, Manu's doing SAS again.
That's right. Oh, yeah, he didn't last too long, did he? We've got a special Commonwealth Games wrap-up of the week. Shervo and Mel McLaughlin are coming in. Mel's very nervous about this. I don't think she wanted to do it. Shervo's great at this stuff.
Do you know what? Mel McLaughlin and I have a little bit of history.
How?
And she doesn't know, which I love about this. There's a strong connection about our past, and she's not across it.
What is it?
And I'm not telling you. I'm going to build it and reveal all in my
What a
rap.
hook and a tease.
Oh, God.
I'm going to reveal it in my rap.
I hope it's
She
nothing
will have a
stupid
meltdown.
like you've got similar birthdays or something.
No.
As if.
It's a knockout.
That would be so lame.
It's a knockout punch.
That
Where-
would be so
Tom,
lame.
Stand on the
Yeah.
door because when I drop it, she'll try and run.
Oh,
You watch.
Stand on the door.
Stand next to the door, Tom.
How are you doing that, Tom? You're standing on the door.
You're a magician.
Yeah.
Oh, he's levitating.
The Fitzy and Whipper Show is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.